On scorched plains lie strange ruins, remnants of a vessel not of this world. Brave souls venture within to find technological wonders beyond belief, and only a lucky few escape the ancient automations and alien creatures that guard these relics. Welcome, Pathfinders. Today we'll be talking about the land of Numeria. 9,000 years ago, during the Age of Darkness, a metal mountain fell from the sky. This object was a ship from a distant world, one that traveled the darkness between stars, until its plummet to the surface of Galarian. As it fell, it broke into pieces, scattered across the land that would one day be called Numeria. The native Kelid tribes who witnessed this event called it the Rain of Stars. The largest section of this vessel became known as Silvermount, and would one day become the heart of Numeria. The Kelid tribe survived that day and continued to live in their ancestral land. Many tribes even took to exploring the crashed ship, until one day a chieftain delved too deep while looking for a weapon to destroy his enemies. He found this weapon, but in his ignorance accidentally activated it. In a flash of light, he and his tribe were incinerated. The other tribes speak of a looming mushroom-shaped cloud that could be seen for miles, poisoning the land beneath its shadow. Following this, the other tribes, fearful of meeting the same fate, began to bury the strange technological ruins. These sites became taboo, and exploring them strictly forbidden. Yet even this did not stop the influence of the crashed vessel. In the centuries and millennia that followed, the flora and fauna of the land have been exposed to the strange chemicals and energies of this alien craft. In places where the energies are too strong, no life, plant or animal, can survive. In other areas, the plants and creatures of the Numerian plains have changed, mutated by the exposure of these otherworldly forces. The Kelid taboos also did not stop the outsiders from coming into the land, seeking knowledge and power from beyond the stars. These foreigners delved into the ruins, plundering their ancient artifacts and at times unleashing these dangers contained within. Eventually, around 700 years ago, these adventurers created an unnamed settlement at the base of Silvermount and began exploring the largest of ruins. Learning of this, the great warlord, Amalokla, united several tribes under her banner and marched on Silvermount. She defeated the outsiders, and so became the first ruler of Numeria, the Black Sovereign. She claimed the settlement at Silvermount and named it Starfall, and from there she ruled her people and enforced the traditional ban on technology. 300 years later, in the year 4308, one of the earliest Pathfinders, a man named Gojin the Sharp, arrived in Starfall. He sought permission from Ontar, the Black Sovereign of his time, to explore Silvermount. After a decade of tests and challenges, the Sovereign finally granted his wish. He explored the ruins for a year and returned with stories of extraordinary technological items and various sky metals. His findings were published in the Pathfinder Chronicles and spurred renewed interest in Numerian artifacts. Then, just over 200 years ago, a strange woman appeared, preaching against the Kelid taboo on technology. She began recruiting spellcasters to her cause, and soon founded the Technic League, a group dedicated to the control and exploitation of the land's advanced technology. While leadership has changed hands frequently since its inception, the group's mission has never changed, and they are now the most powerful organization in the nation. The Technic League gained legitimacy when they allied with the current Black Sovereign, a warlord named Kevoth Kul. Now the organization is more powerful than ever, a cabal of powerful spellcasters, devoted to artifacts beyond their understanding, with a puppet ruler to hide behind. This is the stark reality of Numeria today. The land of Numeria is divided into 4 wide geographical regions, each with its own temptations and dangers. To start with, we look west, to the irradiated wasteland known as the Feldells. This area was struck by the largest concentration of falling debris from the doomed spaceship, and as such is marred to this day by crags and ravines left by these impacts. From this wreckage, alien creatures and sophisticated robots have emerged, and now haunt the barren landscape. To make matters worse, radiation and strange technological fluids can mutate man and beast alike in twisted mockeries of their former natural forms. Yet even with all of these threats, people still come to the Feldells, seeking alien technology and deposits of sky metals far from the reach of the Technic League. In stark contrast to the Feldells, the southern Numerian plains are almost an oasis of life and civilization. This is the most fertile region of Numeria, and provides the majority of food for the rest of the nation. And as such, the Black Sovereign and the Technic League interfere little with its land or people, a practice that has, ironically, led to it becoming a sanctuary for dissenters and revolutionaries. Its largest city, Hajjathakardos, is a bastion of free trade and acceptance in the otherwise insular nation. East of the Selin River is rocky-hilled country, an area of only barely maintaining life and dotted with buried technological ruins. This harsh land, known as the Selin Hills, is home to many of Numeria's native Celtic tribes. These nomads roam the hills, battling with orcs and giants and far more monstrous creatures that call the land home. The only civilization found here is along the Selin River itself, as barges plying the water carry trade to and from the nation's largest city, Chesta. Finally, in northern central region of Numeria, we find Sovereign's Reach, the seat of political power and the stronghold of the Technic League. Outside the capital city of Starfall, most of the land is little more than dead plains, plagued by tribes of orcs and barbarian thralls of the Black Sovereign. It is little better within the capital. Here, the elite few are granted their every decadent desire, while the oppressed masses huddle in fear of the League and their metallic enforcers, the Gearsmen. In this land, the power of the League is absolute, and the few trespassers that emerge victorious from the technological ruins here rarely escape the Technomancer's retribution. That concludes our look at Numeria, the savage land of superscience. I hope this knowledge helps you in the adventures to come. Good luck, Pathfinders.